From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Saturday, July 23rd, 2016. Silver is trading at $19.64 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,322 per ounce. And according to BitcoinAverage.com, the average price of Bitcoin is $658. Antiwar.com reports, speaking at the White House on Friday, President Barack Obama denied unequivocally that the U.S. had any prior knowledge of last week's failed military coup in Turkey, calling on Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan to make sure everyone in Turkey knows that the U.S. was not involved. The early U.S. reaction to the coup had raised a lot of speculation, as Secretary of State John Kerry, during the coup, issued a tepid comment just urging stability. The U.S. only condemned the coup when it became clear later that evening that it was going to fail. Turkey cut power to the Incirlik air base, where many U.S. warplanes and dozens of U.S. nuclear weapons are based, and jailed the commander as a co-conspirator to the coup. That, and Turkey's blaming of cleric Fethullah Gulen, exiled to the U.S., as being behind the plot, are likely the source of a lot of speculation. The U.S. has been keen to keep its ties close to Turkey, whoever ends up running it, and the Obama administration is understandably eager to distance itself from any suspicion. This is a key part of why the U.S. has been so reluctant to seriously criticize Turkey's post-coup purge, and why Turkey feels comfortable pressuring them to extradite Gulen without any evidence. You can support FPP Radio by shopping online. Whether you're looking for precious metals, bitcoins, or books, you'll find that and more at shop.fppradio.com. Every purchase you make from one of my affiliates, like Namecheap and Amazon, at shop.fppradio.com helps fund FPP Radio. Or you can shop directly from FPP with Bitcoin in the Bitcoin store. That's shop.fppradio.com. UPI reports the Virginia Supreme Court was split Friday in dismissing an order by Governor Terry McAuliffe earlier this year to restore full voting rights to more than 200,000 convicted felons. The 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution permits each state to determine its own laws regarding felons' voting rights. In April, McAuliffe ordered that such offenders who are no longer in prison or on probation or parole be allowed the right to cast ballots. Republicans, though, argued that was too general an order and said voting power should be instead given to ex-cons on a case-by-case basis. Friday, the state's high court agreed by a vote of 4-3, saying the governor overstepped his authority. Chief Justice Donald W. Lemons wrote for the majority, "Never before have any of the prior 71 governors of Virginia issued a clemency order of any kind to a class of unnamed felons without regard for the nature of the crimes or any other individual circumstances relevant to the request. To be sure, no governor of this Commonwealth until now has ever suggested that such a power exists." It was unclear exactly how McAuliffe will respond to the court's ruling, if he responds at all. Previously, officials have said the governor was willing to grant voting rights to all qualified felons one at a time if his order was defeated on appeal. McAuliffe's order also would have allowed certain felons to run for public office, perform jury duty, and become a notary public. The court's dismissal means the state's Department of Elections must now cancel all the voter registrations made by qualified convicted felons since April. For nearly 40 years, Roberts & Roberts Brokerage has been a trusted source for buying and selling precious metals like gold and silver. They also take Bitcoin for precious metal purchases and have permanently removed the minimum purchase amount for all orders paid in the digital currency. Call Roberts & Roberts today for knowledgeable advice on buying and selling precious metals and a forward-thinking approach to new technologies. 800-874-9760 or visit online at rrbi.co. Reuters reports California Governor Jerry Brown signed into law on Friday a bill to require anyone planning to build homemade firearms to first obtain a serial number for the weapon and to submit to a background check. The legislation, signed by the Democratic governor of the country's most populous state, follows his signing earlier this month of a sweeping package of gun control bills. The office of California Assemblyman Jim Cooper, a Democrat who authored the bill earlier this year, said in a statement the legislation would end the production of homemade untraceable firearms, which have come to be called ghost guns. The law bans the manufacture and possession of homemade guns unless the builder first obtains a serial number from the Department of Justice and demonstrates that he or she is not prohibited by law from owning a firearm, such as due to a felon conviction. Representatives from the National Rifle Association and the California Rifle and Pistol Association did not immediately return calls seeking comment. This has been FPP Radio News, online at fppradio.com.